And yeah, so we have two organizers for this. Myself, so I'll introduce myself. I am Shubham. So I have been working as a professional integration developer in Millennium. I am certified developer and architect. I have cloud certifications, AWS, GCP, and Azure as well. So over to you, Giri.
Yeah, thank you, Shubham. So, thank you everyone who joined today. So, thanks for joining. Yeah, myself, Giridhar. I am working as a senior architect at Hashdin. So, basically, I look for MuleSoft. I am certified MuleSoft developer, architect, and champion as well. That's pretty much about me. So, I think everyone already started celebrating the Festival of Lights. So, Shubham, next slide, please. Yeah, we want to wish you everyone so happy Diwali. Hope you are enjoying with your families. Take care. And then today we have a speaker who is one of the youngest MuleSoft ambassador in the global, in the whole Mule community. So thanks, Abhishek, for joining us today and presenting a topic. So over
Thank
to
you.
you, over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah,
All the best.
Yeah,
thank you, Gredar and Shivam, for inviting me. I will just present my screen. Just let me know if you can see it. Just give me one minute. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, wishing you all a happy Diwali, and thank you so much for joining us on and taking some time out in this festive season. Thank you so much, and thank you to the Mysore team for inviting me out. Thank you so much. So, and talking about me, so hi, this is Abhishek Bathwal. I'm working as an associate solution architect at Episero. I have overall of 7+ years of experience and 5 years in MuleSoft. I am a MuleSoft ambassador, frequent speaker, leader to Guwahati and Lucknow Meetup group. I'm a certified developer, architect, and I'm a certified GTM champion, industry champion as well. So that's all about me. Now, starting with our today's agenda. So just giving a recap again, what we are going to discuss. So basically we are going to discuss the fundamental of RAML, okay, or maybe fundamental of create the first step of creating an RESTful API, we can say. So we are going to discuss what is RAML. We can see like what's the difference between a specification and fragment, and what actually a specification and fragment are. Then the different fragments which we usually the commonly use. Okay, so we have picked few of them. What should be the best practices, and after that we'll have a trivia and we'll wrap up. So I will just quickly go up with the PPT because I like to have more on demo, because I feel that would make you more understandable. Okay, so we'll quickly go with our presentation now. So starting with RAML. So anyone from the audience can tell me like what's their understanding regarding RAML? What is RAML? Anyone, please. What they understand? Like they may put it in the chat. What their understanding for RAML? Maybe like Shubham and Giri, if you don't mind, can we give mic access so that it will be more interactive with the audience?
Yeah, sure. Shubham,
Yeah.
can you please do that?
Okay. API definition, designing specification, language to design API protocol, RAML RESTful API modeling language. Yeah, Shubham, that's a uh, like we can say the full form, but what actually it does. Okay, proof of API first approach. Okay, yeah, skeleton. Yeah, so I got a lot of answer. So actually what is RAML, what RAML is so RAML provide us a structure. It gives us a blueprint, we can say, like the API which we are going to create. So what actually the methods, the resources we are going to use, it gives us a blueprint of how the rest the API is going to create when we are going to import our RAML in our studio, say, and then we generate the API out of that. So what could be the endpoints probably? Okay, so it's a structure, it's a overview, it's a blueprint, okay, to make you understand how our API will generally look like. Okay, then coming to specification and fragment again. So anyone again, so what their understanding between specification and fragment? Okay, so why we need to have these two different component when we need to design any RAML? Okay, so you have the mic access now, so I will request, if you want, you can unmute and you can tell me. Okay, Rajiv. Hi, Rajiv. So Rajiv saying reusable assets, correct, fragments, set and subset. Okay, What about specification? People are telling about fragments, but what about specifications? Why we need specification? What the purpose of that? Okay, fine. Security validations where we can include fragments, full preprint API which uses fragment. Okay, fine. So specification is something, this is the actual root file out of which we are going to create our API. This is the file where we can see the structure. A fragment is a portion of API specification. Okay, a fragment is used for reusability, so that now suppose I'm we are using API led connectivity approach. Okay, in that I have a condition where I'm using a experience API and a process API, and the request which I'm passing to my experience and process both are same in that condition. So in that case, what I can do is, instead of creating a separate data type fragment in individual specification of experience and process, I can create a fragment, a reusable component, so that I can use that fragment directly in my specification. So out of creating two different fragments in two different specification, I'm creating one fragment and reusing that in both my specification. Okay, so that's what the difference of specification and fragment, and we'll see it out when we'll do the demo. Next, we'll see all these fragments: trait, library, data type, resource type, and security scheme. Then some best practice like modularize or fragmentize. That is, we should try to create fragments. Okay, this is regarding the reusability thing. So we should try to create fragments. We should modularize the thing so that it can be reused, and we don't need to make extra effort to do the things again and again. Then we have some naming convention, naming standards, like we can use either kebab, camel, snake, or Pascal case. Okay, and this is how they look. And when I will show you the demo, I will show you, like, I also follow the same. Okay, so these are some patterns which you can follow, creating not only RAML but also when, okay, when you're giving a name to your component, you can follow this best practices for naming conventions. Okay, so now we'll just move back. Okay, so this is how, like, when you log in to your Anypoint platform. Okay, or maybe let me go to the first page. So when you go to your Anypoint platform, yeah, someone's saying something. Okay, so when you go to platform, so you will see this is how it looks like. So you can either directly click over here, or you got the option from here also. When you click, you can see all together in one place. So here I will go to my design center. This is where the facility provided by MuleSoft to create your RAMLs. Okay, so when you go to this create new, you see two different options. One is for specification and one is for fragment. Okay, so we have two different options for that. So okay, so I have created few fragments just to save little time, but we'll create one new fragment for data type. Okay, now when you go to create fragment, you can see all these options over here. There are different options. Okay, trait, resource type, library, data type, all this we have. So we will choose data type and we'll give a name to this. So let me give a name as user detail, suppose. So I'll create a fragment out of it. So once I do it, a portal will open for me where I can give the inputs which I need to give as my data type. Okay, so what data type do is, data type is used to define the type of request or response you are either going to hit your API, or the response which you are expecting. Like, this is the structure. So it gives you a structure like how your request or response should look like. Okay, so I already have a small data type ready over here, so I'll just simply use it. Okay, and I will explain what we are doing. So we are having a data type where I'm expecting, now suppose if I'm going to get a request for my API, now I'm creating an API where I have a post method and I'm expecting a request. So this is what inputs I assume, like, it should pass. So name, phone, email, book, and that should be in an object. Okay, so this is my data type. So what I will do now, once I create my data type, okay, I need to publish it to Exchange in order to use that into my API specification. So I will just move on this option. Okay, publish. Okay, I need to give a version. Okay, what asset version? So this is my first. There is two different option: development and stable. That means development means you are still in a development process. That means your creation is not completed. You are going to either add or remove or do some changes, do some updation on your particular fragment or API specification. Stable means okay, your development is done, now it is ready to publish it to exchange and ready to consume by your API specification. So we will publish it as a stable state. So I'll click on publish.
Abhishek Prakash here. Can we
Yeah.
publish it during development stage as well?
Yes, we can do, but the problem is once you publish it in your development phase, you won't be able to import that in your specification, or you cannot import that in your file when you're creating the APIs, because development means I'm not ready yet. I'm going to add things, I'm not ready, so don't do any action. Just I'm saving how we save.
Okay.
Okay, how I'm
So
just
it's like
giving.
similar to saving in design center itself.
This is like I'm just saving. Don't use it. That
Okay.
kind of thing. Okay, so now as I publish and if I go to my exchange tab, okay, and if I refresh over here, I can see I have all those fragments, okay, which I have published. So I have all these four fragments which I have published. Three have published already and one I did now, which is user details. And here you can see now my organization is demo, so I can see there is a tab for demo, which is a master tab. But also if I need to find what is already present by MuleSoft, I can go over here. If anyone has shared anything with me, I can check it over here. Okay, so here how you can see it in your exchange. So it has published in your exchange. Okay, now we'll move back to our dashboard of design center and we'll create a specification and we'll see how we import the fragment to our specification. Okay, so now to create a specification, again I will go to this create button. I'll go to new API specification. Now in this we have again two options. Okay, to create the RAML, one is creating of your own, another is getting a visual interface option. So what it do, I will explain you at the last. So when you do it of your own, everything you need to create by your own, and with this second option you get some some learning, like what all things you can put. So if you are a beginner, okay, then I'll suggest go with this option, just initially learning how the RAML should be created. Once you are above a beginner stage, once you learn little bit about RAML, how it is created, then go with this, okay, of your own. So I will be choosing of my own and I will be giving it name as books API. Okay, I'm just giving a name. My API name will be books API. I'm creating a specification now and I will create. Okay, so again a dashboard will open for me where I can create my main API, the API where I will have my blueprint, and this will be used when I will be creating my API. Okay, so books API, a root RAML file will be created. Okay, in this I will give a description. Okay, and a very good thing with this design center thing is auto sense abilities over there. So as I have written on it, this already description came and I can choose that. Okay, so you don't need to make much effort whenever you are creating RAML in design center. Okay, so I'll just give a description like this is to create a system API for books details. Okay, just a description. I can give a version. Okay, say v1. So this is my RAML version v1 I am giving. Now it will come as my resource. What resource I want to give? I want to give a resource as author. Okay, in this I need to define what methods I need to give. So I will give two methods. One is get, another one is post. Okay, now in this get, what I will have, okay, I'll have a responses because it is a get method, so I'm not going to give any input. So but I will write a description again. So this is to get author details. Okay, then responses. So I expect a 200 response. Okay, a body with that response, and I expect a body as application JSON. Okay, this is what I have defined. Fine. Now for post. Now for post, I will have a input. First, I will give a description. So this is to create author in books, say database. Okay. Now what I will have a body where I need to define like what kind of input I want to take. I want to take application JSON, suppose. Okay. Now here I need to define a data type. Like if I am taking an input, okay, so what should be my request look like? Okay, what should my request? And as you are going to create all this, you can see the summary over here. Okay, now this is my get. Okay, now okay, let me put an example as well. Okay, example. So we can see the example over here as well. So I will just put, say, in this only I will put an object with a message saying get details for author. Okay, now I'll go to summary. I'll see get. I can see the example. So this is what I'm expecting a response in this way. Okay, just an example. Now for post, what I have, okay, I have defined a body which should be an application JSON, but I have not defined a structure for that. Okay, so now we have already created the fragments. Okay, so now how to import that? So for that, in your specification, you will see there is an option to your left that is dependencies. You need to click on that. Okay, and make sure to add your fragments into your specification. You need to publish it to Exchange. That is important. Okay, so when you go to this option, you can see there are options fragments. Just click on this. Now here you can choose your organization. So my organization is demo. I'll click on this. So I can see all the as like specification and fragments, whatever published in the Exchange for me. Okay, so see all the 4 fragments which I've already published, I can see over here. So I will just select all and I will add that to my specification. And this is how you add or you make a part of your you make the portion fragment a part of your API specification. Okay, so now this is imported. I'll go to my files again and I will see all this over here. Okay, the modules has been added. Okay, so now I need to add this in my specification again. So this is what I have added the files to my API specification module, but not to my actual root file. So now the next step is to add this module to my root file. Okay, that is the next step, then only I can use it. Okay, so to do that, first basic auth, it is a security scheme. So what I will do to add that, we have a keyword. Okay, security schemes, this is the keyword to add that. I will give a name, say basic auth. Okay, now I need to give the path. So if you see, this is my actual root file for this fragment. I will right click on this 3 dots, copy path. Okay, so to include, there is a keyword include, then only it will be included. Okay, so my security scheme is added. Now what will be the next is this is a resource type. Okay, so what is there inside this? My resource type have the methods which I have used. Okay, get, post. Fine, so I have a generic resource type. So when I use this, I don't need to create additionally this what I have created. Okay, I have created this additionally, but if I use this resource type, I don't need to use that. Okay, and I will show you how to call that. So here you can see there are variables. This is one variable, resource path name, and one is example reference 1 and example reference 2 and data type 1. So this resource path name is a predefined variable. These are variables which are given by MuleSoft, we can say. These are given by Design Center. And this are user defined. This is what I have created. Okay, because for this I need to give a input, but for this I don't need to give an input, and I will show you how this is different. Okay, so now I need to use add this method to my specification. So this is a resource type. So the keyword first will be resource type. Then say I will name it as methods only. Okay. Again, include, and then the path of the main file of this fragment. Okay. So this is also added. Now see, third will be trait. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what is trait? What they understand by trait? Anyone, please. Maybe if you want, you can put it on chat. I will just go and I will check it over there. Okay, traits are added. Traits is like a function. Yes, correct. Uday. It's like a function. Trait are
It's
usable
like a
functions. Yeah.
function where you can use a reusable component in your specification.
Correct. Yep. True. Okay. So we have used trait, and now the data type which we have created, we will include that. So for that, the keyword I need to use is okay types. Okay, I will say user details include. Again, I need to give the path. Okay, so now I have imported as well as included all the fragments which I have defined. I'm not showing library over here now because I have another part. I will explain it over there, because in library I need to make some changes, and if I create a fragment again I need to publish into Exchange. Okay, so that will take much time, so I'm avoiding that. Okay, so my security scheme is there, resource type, traits, and types are there. Everything is there. So although I have a resource type, I don't need to define this additionally, so I will remove it. Now what I will do, I need to add this to my this resource so that I can inherit the property which I have defined. So for this, I need to use type and then methods. Okay, so once I do it, you see the get and post is there. See, when I remove it, I don't have get and post. When I simply add type, then methods, automatically the get and post are added. And in that, what I have, see, my get have description. This is to get, then a variable. Okay, this is to get, then a variable. I'm not defining anything. Then in that I have a response, which should be an application JSON, and I want an example for that. For post, again, this is to create, again a variable. I'm not defining anything. Then a data type should be there to define the structure, and then example. Okay, so when we move back, so it is giving error because it is not getting the user defined variable which we have defined. Okay, but if you'll see, this is to get author. Now when I defined this, I have not defined author or anything over here. I just defined resource path name. But when we see over here the description, this is to get author. So what resource path name do, whatever resource name you have, it automatically amend that to that particular variable place. Okay, now if I go to post as well, there also I have not defined, but this is to create author. Okay, so this is the use of user defined a predefined variable reference path name. There is one more thing, reference path, that will also I will show you what is the difference and how we'll use it. Okay, so now method is done. Now this is giving me error saying I am not getting any reference or I am not getting any data type. Okay, so let us first give example reference 1. Okay, because that is for our get. Okay, so example reference 1, and I will set it as say message get author details. Okay, this is one. Then second is data type 1. Now I have already defined a data type which is user details, so I will simply use it. Okay, third will be my reference, which again message, I will say author created. Okay, now let's see the summary again. Now I don't have any error. Okay, I have defined everything. Okay, I will come to trait and security also. Okay, now see what all we have over here. Okay, we have code example. Okay, now we got the example as I've defined example reference 1. Okay, I expect a response of 200. Body should be application JSON. Now moving toward our post. My post media type for the body is this. User detail is what the data type we have used. This is my structure now. Okay, this is what I have given in my data type. The same structure. If you'll see, name, phone, email, and books. So the same structure you will see over here: name, phone, email, and book. Then name is required, phone required. So these are mandatory fields. A response and a response message. Okay, so now we have seen this basic one. So we have not used any trait or security scheme over here. Okay, so now we'll use our trait and security scheme as well. So first we'll add our trait. So to add a trait, what is the keyword to that? Can anyone tell me how can we use a trait in a specific resource? What is the keyword for that? Yes, perfect. Yes, everyone is right. So is then the name of my trait which I've used. Okay, so now you'll see the header, the X correlation ID, the traceable trait which I had, that has been added. Next, I will use security schemes to add that. The keyword is secure by. Okay, and now I will just add that as well, basic auth. So see, new one is added, security with basic auth. Okay, so this is a basic one which we create by using this fragment. So what we have seen is how we create fragments, how we import the fragment to an API specification, and how we use that fragments to create resources. Okay, this is what we have seen. So any doubt till now in this? Anyone? Any question? Are you clear with this? Yes, no, anything? Guys in the chat maybe? Okay, fine, fine, great. So now we will see a library, how we create library, why library is used, and then using that library, we are going to create our specification. Okay, so can anyone tell me what's library do? What's the use of library? Although we have fragments for individual type, why we need library? Yeah, someone unmuted. Tell me please.
Where we can store reusable components.
We can store, see, we already create usable components, we have fragments for each type. Then why again library? Why reusability again multiple times? No. Okay, we'll explain. Also there is a question from Uday, include dot dot. Okay, we use that in a case where we don't want to define a longer path. Okay, that time we use that. Okay, let me try it over here as well. Let me check if that work over here. If I don't define the complete path, but I defined normal. Uh, we used that to inherit. I'm not remembering it now, but we have used it. So we use that to inherit from a place where we don't need to define the complete. Okay, but a part. Sorry, I'm not able to recall it now. Okay, but it is something like we don't want to give a complete path, but yeah, by giving this we can still inherit. Okay, anyone remember why we use that?
Yeah, it's
Can
for
can
relative path.
anyone?
Yeah.
Relative path, correct. We don't need to give a complete one, but using that we can still inherit. Okay, thank you. What is the What is a repository or collection of other fragment? Shruti, I didn't understand your question. Maybe you can unmute and explain me, or maybe let me define the library and I will take it after that. Maybe in that you will get the option. Okay, you are giving the answer. Sorry. It is a repository collection of other fragments. Yeah, true. A library is a fragment where instead of creating, like I have created 4 different fragments. Okay, now instead of creating these 4 different fragments, what I can do, I can create a library, and inside that itself I can create all this small. Okay, so library, like a book library, what we can what we see in that, we have several different books over there. Okay, so if we need to find any book, what we say, okay, let us go to the library and get it from there, it may be there. So it's a collection of other different fragments. Okay, so let me create a new specification again, say banking API. Okay, I'll create this. In that I'll create a library. Okay, and this will also explain, like instead of importing a fragment to your specification, how you can create a fragment inside your specification itself. Okay, so again some description. This is to create a system API for banking sector. Okay, version v1. Okay, in this customer will be my resource. I need to create the methods and everything. So let us create a library. So what you need to do, click on this button. Okay, inside the specification, go to new file. In this, it will ask you what you need to create. Okay, so I want to create a library. This is my option, and I will give it so the same name, library.raml, and I will create. Okay, so this is what created. Now I need to create all my fragments over here. So first I will create a trait. Why it's not coming? Okay, traits, but I need to give a separate name. So now in my fragment, when I have created this fragments, okay, there I have given a name. Also there is a root file, okay, which is named as traceable. Okay, a root file which is named as traceable. But now what I need to do is, when I'm creating in a library, I need to give individual name to this, because I don't have any root file now for this individual. So I will name it as traceable. Okay, this is the name of my that particular trait, and this is the value for that. Okay, and in that I have a field called X correlation ID. Okay, this is my trait. Now I'll create a data type. What's happening? Why it's not taking? Okay, sorry, types. Okay, now I'll create a data type. Again, I need to give a name. So user details. Okay, and this I'm creating a type object. Okay, in this, so I'm creating a data type for a banking sector. Okay, for a customer. So what I need a name. Okay, which will be a type of string. Okay, required, yes, it is true, mandatory field, example. Okay, next what should I have? I should have an email for that particular person. Again, it should be of type string. Okay, required, true. Okay, then example, say abcd@xyz.com. Okay, maybe let me take a proper one. Okay, then I should have a phone number. Okay, now again I'm keeping it as type string. Okay, required true. Example 1 2 3 4. Okay, second account number, that is important. It will be of type again string. Okay, required, yes, it's absolutely mandatory. Example, say 09. Okay, it will be a long string. Then account type. Okay, that is also important, what kind of account type you have. So type will be string, but here I will give a enum value because it can be a selective one, either savings, okay, or say current, or FD, or say RD. Okay, so this few information I have given. So my data type is also done. Next will be what? Next will be my security. I'll name it as basic auth. Okay, so it will be of type basic auth. Okay, next important one, resource type. Without this we cannot do. Name it as methods. Okay, and this get. So I already have this as well. Well, it is okay. I'll just inline it. Okay, description, method. Okay, so I have all this defined over here. Okay, all the basic things which I need. Method, get, post, everything, and I will use it as resource path this time and not resource path name. Okay, now create our specification. So we already have a method or resource type. Now I need to use it. Okay, so now how can I import a library? Can anyone tell me? Any idea? Okay, user has already uses, correct. So yes, we need to use the keyword uses. I will use my lib. Now how to use it? Should I need to use the include keyword or I shouldn't? Do not use include. No. Anyone say yes, we should? Okay. Yep, we don't need to use, just directly we can give the path. Okay, amazing audience. Okay, now we have used the imported the library to our specification. Now we need to use that in our resource. So how to use that is, so I need to use my lib. Okay, in that I have for resource type methods. Okay, not supported. Why not supported? Something went wrong again. Okay, let me save it. My lib. Okay, sorry. Type, then my lib dot methods. Okay, so when I add this, I got this get and I got this post. Okay, now these are added. Okay, fine. Yep. So get and post are added. Now I need to provide the references which I used. Okay, so say first, okay, now first example reference once again for get. So I will write it at message get, say customer. Okay, this is one. Second, data type. Okay, now I already have a data type, so I will simply import that from my library, which is user details. Okay, and third, reference. Okay, again I'll give this as message and customer created. Okay, so again the same way what we have done there, but here we are using library, and this is how we are using it. Just like my leave is the keyword to you import the library which I have used. So using that followed by the name which I have used inside the library for any resource type, traits, or anything. Okay, so this I have done, and now we can see it over here. Okay, this is for get and this is for post. Okay, now tell me one thing. Although I have defined it in my library, so when I use the method, I got both get and post. But what if I have some methods where I need only get or only post or only a particular method and not all? Because now it is making it mandatory to use both, even though I need it or I don't need it. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, how to remove that dependency? Can anyone tell? Guys, anyone? Use, yes, correct, fine. So what I will do is I will go to my library, and in my resource type I will make this as optional, my get and post. I'll make this as optional over here in my library. So now you see the get and post is removed. I made it optional. So now if I need to include whatever method I want, already I have defined this. What I can do is I can define it as get, okay, and get and post. I can define it over here. Then only it will include, otherwise it will not include it. Okay. Now it is getting included. If I remove, not included. If I add, okay, then the particular method will be added. Got it? Okay. Now one more thing for the resource type. Now you can see what I have done is I have done required true string. Okay, I have put enum values. Okay, now here also if you'll see I made all as required. Okay, but even though if I don't define, by default it the type is string and the required is true. By default I don't need to additionally define this required or type over here. Okay, so now if I remove this particular from this name, now suppose I removed and I just put an example, and now if I refresh and if I see, okay, now if I go and if I see it over here, still it is string and it is required. So it is a by default uh, criteria which is string and required is true. Okay, if I make it false, it will be false. For false I need to define it, but for true I don't need to additionally define it. It is by default true. Okay, see email is false now. Okay, another thing, if I need to define a length, okay, like phone number, I want that it should be of length 10 only, then I can use this min length and I can define it as 10, and this min length work only with string, okay, not with integer or number. So if I remove 1, then it is a 9, it is 9 length of 9, so it's give me an error. So I need to provide 10 only, but again I can start with 0. I don't want to do that. Okay, I don't want to start it with a 0. I want to define it. Okay, don't start it with 0 but any other number. So we can also give a pattern, and in that pattern also we can define a length. Okay, so for that, pattern is the keyword. Okay, and I have that pattern over here for number. So this is my pattern. Okay, so which will make it a regex function, so which will make it specific what you need to provide. So first should be 1 to 9 digit, not zeros. That's why it is giving error. I'll make it 1. It should be of length 10 only. Okay, if I remove 1, it's give me error. Okay, so this is a regex function, a pattern which you can use. Also the same you can use with email. Okay, to specify, okay, I need a particular format for my email. Okay, so for this I have a separate one. Okay, this one. So this will also verify whether your email is of matched requirement or not. Okay, so this is pattern. Now if you want to do it for number, what you can do, this pattern will not work, this regex will not work. Now suppose I change it to number. Okay, this will not work. In that, what you can do is you can do a minimum and maximum. Okay, maximum I need 10 digit, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, and a minimum value. Okay, it should be in between this limit, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, or I have given extra. Must be number. Okay, sorry. Okay, okay, so in this way you can define for a number. If I remove, it's giving error because it's specified. If I try to put a 0, let's see, still it's giving me error. Okay, so we have defined it for number as well. So this is what we can do with our data type. Okay, or not only data type, but if we are defining in any other fragments, they also we can do that. Okay, we can use this kind of format over there. Okay, so this is one. So we have seen uh, how we can make the methods as optional. Okay, how we can use the regex functions, how we import the library. Okay, all this we have seen. Now in my method I have defined a resource path and a resource path name. Now what's the difference between both? Resource path I've already shown you. Okay, but again let me show you. So for get I have got resource path. So now if you'll see, this is to get, this is giving me the complete path. Okay, this path along with this, but whereas only resource path name is giving me the name of this resource. Okay, now what if I increase this, what will happen? Say id. Okay, now resource path name, resource path is giving me the complete path again, but if I go to post where I have resource path name, it is giving me only the id one. Okay, the nearest one, or I can say the last one. It is not giving the full, like it is under customer and this is under id. No, it is only the last one. Okay, so this is the difference between the reference path and reference path name. Okay, now next, security scheme and traits. Okay, security scheme and traits. So now how we can add that? Okay, so there are two ways to add that. Either you add it directly here, again is, okay, traceable and secure by, which is basic auth. Okay, so now if I go back and if I see, let's see if it is added. So see, security and headers both are added. Okay, and the same will be added to this as well. Okay, but again it is adding it to both. But what if I don't want to add it to both? What I can do, either I can remove it from here, I can probably add it over here. Okay, set traceable. Okay, now if I see, it will be applied only to my get, Also, if I don't want to do it like this, not here, then again I can go back and I can add it here. But in this, I need to use mylib as it is taking a reference from there. Okay, so now again, if I go and I see, I can see that. Again, same for secured. Okay, secured, added. Okay, so this is how we use library where we can have multiple things. Okay, any question or any doubt on this? Any question, guys? Anything?
Yeah, Abhishek. So now we came to know like how we can RAML, okay, in terms of like API specification. But before that, we need to understand like what is the importance for that.
Yep. Thank you.
Then, yeah, in which case we can go for the RAML.
Yeah. So whenever we want to create a REST API, we go for a RAML so that it creates the structure and then we can import that in our studio and we can create an API out of that.
Only RAML. Can we go for suppose if I have a, like a Swagger, okay, and
Yeah,
are
that's
working
that
with
that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
only we can do. But at present, how like we are discussing about RAML, that's why I'm saying that. Like
okay,
mostly what we do is we are using RAML because it's a easy access thing. In platform we get it and we are used to it. Okay, but yeah, there are different other design possibilities also there to create our APIs. It's not only RAML, but
mhm,
today as we are discussing about only that, that's why I'm
yeah,
just talking about that.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
In
Now, any
most
other question?
cases,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah,
Please.
Abhishek, adding to your point, so in most
Yeah.
cases in MuleSoft, we'll go with the RAML specifications when we design APIs.
Yeah. True.
And that is the reason we took up this topic.
I think open specification also will support. Recently, I read one article. MuleSoft as a latest feature, it will support the OAS also.
Yeah, OS also will support. So there are many ways to design. So
Yeah,
this is a one way, and
yeah,
this is a mostly in many projects. This is the way we follow.
yeah.
Yep. Thank you
Yeah, I
for
agree
adding
with
that.
your
Thanks.
point. So
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everything, there are several ways to do.
yeah, yeah. Thanks,
Okay.
Giri. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
no worries.
No, Vishak, I don't have any particular link. Okay, for any regex pattern, just you can Google it and you can get it and everything over there. I don't have any such link as of now. Okay. Okay. So moving to the next. So we have seen.
Abhishek,
Yeah.
in the same page, you have mentioned required. No, no. Go to RAML page once.
hmm I'm at my YAML.
Still, it is not loading. Yeah. So if you see the line number 18, required false is there, right?
Line number 8.
18.
18. Yeah. Required
Yeah. For
false.
this, we can use question mark right after pattern?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we can
I
fine grain this way.
like yeah, like the way we have done a question mark over here. Yeah, thanks for adding that. So we can also use a question mark. So when we do a question mark, that means again it's an optional thing. Required false. Okay, so if I go back and if I see it for my email again, it's a non-required field. Okay, now so we have understood on creating different fragments, creating libraries, creating API specification, importing fragments from exchange, or creating a fragment inside a specification. What's the options libraries provide, how we can define different traits or different fragments inside a library, and how we can use it. Now, next part. So now in this post, I have already defined a body that it should be application JSON. But what if I don't want? I want to define my own. Okay. So can anyone tell me, can we have two different meme type or two different inputs for a single resource of a single method? Can we have both XML or JSON to my customer post method? Can I have that? Like it will accept both. My resource is single. I don't need to create a separate resource. I have a single method which is post, and I want that it should accept both JSON and XML. Is that possible?
I think it is possible. You need to define both the body types.
Both the body types, correct. Mustan, it's not like only scheme using schema, but in the body types we can directly mention it. Okay, and I will show you that. So in my library, what I will do, I'll make little change. Instead of defining it as a application JSON over here, what I will do is I will define a variable, say body one. Okay, I define it, and now I'll go back. Okay, and this my data type is no longer exist. So now what is exist is body, and this first one will be application JSON, another one will be application XML. So now if I go to my post, let it save. So when it is start, that means it is saving. Okay, let it save. Okay, it's saved. Now if I go back, now I can see there are two different options. Okay, if I give a data type, say type, and that is my leave dot user details. Okay, so when I switch on to my JSON, it is showing me this. Here I have not defined any type, that's why no input. Okay, but both the inputs are possible for this. Okay, this is one thing. Now second,
Abhishek, sorry for the
yeah,
interruption. So in this case, you are defining multiple
meme types.
bodies, yeah, mimic type. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
coming to implementation, do I need to different branches to maintain to process that kind of a body?
Different branches means different data types.
Yes. Why? Because for suppose,
Y-
yes,
Yeah.
from the one channel we are getting an application JSON format, and the
Mhm.
other channels we are getting application XML. But
Mhm.
how your implementation will whenever you are going for studio based implementation, do we
Mhm.
need to have a separate flows or within the
It
flow?
will
Yeah.
it will automatically create two different flows. One for
Okay.
application JSON and one for application XML with the same resource name.
Okay.
Okay, it
Yeah,
will
it will give you
automatically
like a
create.
yeah, it will give you like a skeleton flow, but of course we need to go for the
Yeah,
actual
already. Yeah,
implementation.
obviously
Okay.
you need to modify that. That's true, but it
Yeah.
will create two different skeleton for that.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. I just want to understand like how the studio will be when you are come up with like two bodies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Now the next thing is a small part of query string. Okay, so now suppose we are using query parameters. Okay, query parameters for maybe our post or get. Now sometimes what happen, there are some scenarios in which we need to provide parameters. That is true, we have to provide it, but there is a condition where you either you provide both of them or at least you provide one. Okay, it's not like you, if you didn't provide both it will work. No, at least you provide one or you provide both. That is the condition. Okay, that type of scenario happens. So how to handle that on query parameter? So now if you'll say, okay, I will define query parameters, in that I will define, suppose, uh, some field, say ID. Okay, one field, another field is location. Okay, now what I will do now, as if I see this, now both of this my query parameter are mandatory, but I need that at least one should pass, because if it is mandatory, if both of them are not passed, it will fail. So I will make it as optional. Okay, I make it as optional. Okay, but will it work? Because both are optional. In this case, if I'm not passing any one of that, then also it will work, but I don't want that condition. I want at least one should pass. So in that case, now what come into picture is query string. Okay, Okay, there is a function called query string which allow you to define a parameter which can be at least passed once or both of them are passed. Okay, at least one of them are passed or both of them are passed. So now what I will do, I'll create a data type, small data type for this also, because I need to define it. Okay, now I'll go to my library again. Okay, in this data type I will create a small data type. Okay, two different data type. Okay, so one is say, okay, ID. Okay, uh, in this uh, ID. Okay, 1 minute. Let me get it from here.
I think in your notepad there is a query string block. You can take it for there.
No, I don't have for this. Just give me a minute. I need to define ID. Okay, that's true. Type string. I'm doing some mistake again. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, yep, sorry. Okay, yeah, one thing was missing. I need to define properties. Yep. Then ID, and it should be of type string. Another one, say I take it as location. Okay, properties, location, again type string. Okay, now I have defined this two data types. So what I need to do is, when I am doing my query string, so I am making it's a or condition. Okay, so first I will give one data type which is say ID. I will use a pipeline here. Okay, now this is used, and here location. Okay, so now if I go and see, now in query parameter also I got an option. Both are required. Okay, this is required, this is required, but now I can pass at least one of them. I don't need to pass both of them. Okay, now both are not mandatory. Any one of that are mandatory they can, but okay, so this is what the use of query string to define your query parameter, where you need to define at least one parameter need to be passed. Okay, this is what it do. Okay, any question on this?
For defining this parameters, do we have any other operator apart from pipe? Like pipe is for all condition. Do we have something like and or something else?
No, no, no. Pipe is what to give you that option, an or condition. Okay, the same thing you can do for your say for this body also, when you're defining a mem type. Okay, now in I have a JSON. Okay, I'm defining one data type. Now if I want, I can define two different data type in this. Okay, so I will just create one more, and just I will name it as user. Okay, and I will just remove this one from here. Okay, so now if I go back, mylib dot user. So now if I see post, again I have two different meme types. Now again in JSON I have two different input type. Okay, so this is also possible. I have two different input type again. Okay, so this is how you make use of pipeline. Okay, any questions? Anyone, any question on this? No? Are we good? Okay, so to summarize, we have seen how to use the option between API specification creation fragment, how fragment created, publish in exchange, import in specification, create a fragment in specification, uh, what are the different way to use that libraries or fragments what we use in a specification, how to import that, how we can make optional or mandatory fields, how we can put an or condition to define two different inputs for a mem type or to define two different mem type for a body, and how to optionalize your query parameters. All this we have seen. Now the last part what we'll see, which we have talked about
Abhishek,
earlier.
there
Yeah,
is a question in the window.
what if both query parameters are sent even we defined? Yeah, we can do that. So see what query string is doing, it's giving an option to define at least one, okay, to pass at least one. So when you are using a query parameter function, in that either you need to make it optional so that nothing is passed, or make it mandatory so that both is passed. You don't have an option to pass only one and at the same time making it mandatory. But query string, it's making it mandatory that you need to pass, but you can also pass at least one. It's not mandatory to pass both. Okay, or maybe let me show you in Postman. Okay, okay, let me show you in Postman. I'm just stop sharing. Okay, I'll share it again. Let me make my Postman ready. Okay, I will start sharing again. Okay, hope you can see my screen. So now again going to my API. So we'll check how that work. Okay, so this is ready. So in order to check it, what we need to do, we need to go in this marking option. Okay, we need to enable this service, as well as sometime we need to do the local setting also, otherwise it's not work. Okay, so now this is my URL. I will go to my Postman. I'll paste it. Okay, my resource type, I have this customer as my resource type. In this, what I have at present, do I have any security? Let's see. Okay, it doesn't seems to have any security as of now. Okay, let us go and simply test it. Required query string null is missing. Okay, so there is an issue with our input. Now what is the input I need to give is ID. Let us try. If I give ID and with some input, say ABC, does it work? See, it's working. Now let us give location, say India. I will hit it. Giving, I will remove ID. Still giving, error. Okay, so what query string has done, it has allowed me to use both. Now suppose I don't use query string, I use query parameter. ID is one, location is one. Okay, now let's see what happens. Let it save. Okay, get, I both required. If I go back, if I give both, get customer. If I don't give anything, error. If I give only one, no. Query parameter. Okay, let me refresh it again. Okay, required, let me try again. Okay, passing both, work, passing one, Now this is strange. Why it's behaving like this?
I think we need to use the latest mocking URL.
Sorry?
After we need to take the latest mocking URL after the updation.
Okay. Let me try that as well. Okay. Come on. Let's check again then. Go back. Okay. Disabled. Refresh again. Okay. Fine. This is fine. Query parameters, ID, location. That's true. Yes. Customer. True. Okay. If I pass on the ID. Huh. It shouldn't work. Why it is working? I haven't make it optional. Because that's the difference between a query string and this. By any chance am I using? Nope. This is my get. Perfect. Am I using the correct method? Okay, let me do one thing. Let me try removing this and check why is it happening like that. Set explain. If not, I will create a new resource and we'll see on that. If this time also it doesn't work, I think some cache issue is there. Okay. Yes, now it is working. Some cache issue maybe. Not sure why. Okay, see. So when I'm using query parameter, if I give both, as I've made both mandatory, it works. If I don't use, not working. If I use only one, not working. If I use only one, not working. Saying ID is missing. Okay. So I think there was some issue. Maybe it was not saving or some glitch. That's why it was not working. But when I used query string, okay, that time it worked where I can give only one as well. Okay. For post method, again, I can send both XML. Say if I do XML, uh, test, name, let's see.
One n is small and
Okay, sorry. Okay, working. If I send a JSON, okay, I will take the example from here itself. This is one example. Now I don't have account types, so it should give me an error. Let's see. Okay. Okay, my bit is okay. I didn't define. Okay, it is accepting for this because I have this second one. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me make it as email ID. Okay. Now let us see. Saving. Okay. Now if I hit, yeah, now it is giving me error because I need to define a type. Savings. Okay, it is working. If I do with ID now, and if I remove this as it was a mandatory for my first type, it is also working. Okay, I'm passing inputs. I passed multiple meme types, or we can say application type we passed. It worked. We have seen query string. We have seen the query parameters. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for suggesting. Once the specific published to Exchange, import to Studio, and the application is deployed to cloud, then as part of enhancement, if we need any change in RAML, how can we update the latest version in API as it's already in cloud? In that case, Anusha, you need to make changes in your API. Like you need to do the updation over here. So see, when I do a publish, again, there will be a versioning over here. And this, now my first version is this because I have not published anything. Next time when I'm doing some update and I am publishing, it will be 1.0.1. And then you need to make changes in your API. You need to go to your API and you need to update your RAML there also. That's how you need to do because it's deployed. It's not like being deployed you can do the changes. No, you need to do the changes in your API. Okay, that's the only option. Okay,
Abhishek, I think we have one question that we missed.
which one?
Mm,
What both? This I have.
no, not this one. Can you scroll above? Yeah, this
Yes.
one.
Can live.be built using design mode? Design mode. We are in design mode. I
I,
didn't
I,
assume.
I'm- I mean,
Huh?
without typing by using the other, we have some other design mode, right? Where you in the
Okay, fragments you are talking about means you are saying the way I have used
API
this.
specification.
No,
No,
I think when we start creating RAML, right? So we have two ways to create, whether we can do it manually
Oh,
or we
okay.
can, yeah.
So for fragment, we have only one option. We don't have any other option. That is only manual. We don't have an visual
okay,
option. We have only for specification. Okay,
okay.
so now we have seen all this part. So we'll come to our last part where I will just show you a small example of using this, which is our guide me through it visual interface. Okay, I will name it as say telecom. Okay, I'm not going to create the complete one, just an example like what all things we see inside this. Okay, so we'll go to create API with this option. So what it helps you, to understand how a RAML structure can be created. Okay, so now see, this is how it looks and you can see a preview over here. Okay, so now I say telecom API. So it's given the title version v1. Okay, so whatever I have done in that mode, the same I can see. I want to define any protocol over here, any media type. Okay, any base URI. Okay, any parameters. I want to use a secured by, like I want to add something. Okay, I want to add this. Okay, I'm adding this now. Okay, so it gives me several options. Okay, secured by is added. I want to define any data type. Okay, in data type, how I want to do it. Okay, I want to add a property. What name? What should be the type? String, number, boolean, what it should be. Okay, it should be, okay, say number and string. Okay, what we have seen using a pipeline. Okay, uh, yeah, someone has asked like instead of pipeline. Okay, this is one thing which we can use any of. Okay, but generally what we use pipeline. This is also one way to have both string or number. Okay, any one of this for your particular type. Okay, so this help us to understand what we are creating. Okay, this help us to understand that. Okay, it creates the same thing. Okay, if you want to add any document, uh, here we have got resource type. We want to add methods. What method you want to add? Okay, this plan. Okay, in this, what should be my response? Okay, do I have any body for this? Okay, it should be an object. Okay, add properties. If in this object I want to add something, say I have a plan, then again name. Okay, it should be of type string. Okay, if you want to define an example, all this same what we have done over here, you can do it over here, but it gives you an idea of how your RAML will be created when you're adding one of the another properties. I can add post also. Okay, what should be the response, what should be the body. Okay, what data type, everything I can add it over here. And then once I'm fine, I think okay, this has been created for me, I can use this edit RAML. So when I do this, I can choose to the text editor, the one which we have used to create of our own. So we are back with this. So this is the dashboard, or this is the place where we have created our own API with our own specification instead of using the visual editor. Okay, so once you are done, you can switch the mode, okay, to the self mode. That you can do, you can import it from exchange, you can download the specification if you want. Okay, rename it. So you have got other options. This one is to publish to exchange. If you go back to your exchange, once you publish it, you can see it over here. Okay, at present I have not published anything, so we cannot see anything over here. But if I go and if I publish it, so we can find that over here, and there in exchange also it will give us all the specification. Okay, so I will just go and I will publish. Okay, it is getting published. Okay, and someone asked, I just missed interrupt the question. What if both query parameter are sent even? Okay, okay, fine. I answered. How to validate our recent created RAML? What is it? Okay, first I will answer this. What is the difference between publishing API in Exchange and in cloud? So we publish the RAML in Exchange only. So what it means is when we publish the RAML in Exchange, then we can use that. Okay, then we can use that to create our API. We can directly import it in our studio through Exchange as a module. Exchange, we can see the structure what we have created. See all the endpoints, everything will be visible over here. Okay, you can see the endpoints over here. Okay, it will be visible. Okay, I have exported telecom, that's why it is giving me this one. It is visible. you can see, and you can also use this for documentation. Okay, you can add your details over here. Okay, as a documentation you can use, you can add it, and you can specify what you have created. Okay, this is what you do when you publish it to exchange. Publish to cloud, we don't say we're publishing to cloud, we deploy the API to cloud which contains a RAML and create a API out of that. Okay, hope that answer your question, Kaka Sahib. Now Rajiv is asking one question: how to validate our recently created RAML? How to validate in the sense like how to get what is your recent created or what? In what way you are saying, Rajiv? Validate means
Hi Abhishek, suppose I have
yeah.
created a RAML.
Uh-huh.
Suppose that RAML have some duplicate fields, or suppose have the Boolean value are giving some means that Boolean value it's not true or false, but it's something written like a string. So
Okay.
how to validate that part?
Okay, so that is that's a good point, but RAML itself do it for you. Okay, now let me show you. Now suppose I'm going to this. Okay, I'm going to my fragment. Okay, and I define suppose type as Boolean. So see, automatically it is giving me error. Okay, it is giving like, okay, boss, you have defined Boolean, but what you are passing, this is not acceptable. Should be Boolean. It should be true or false. So it's automatically validate that. Even though forcefully, if you will do it, if you forcefully do it, your RAML will not work. Okay, it will not work even though if
Got
you
it,
import.
Abhishek. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, I am done with
Okay.
my presentation and demo, and we can take questions. Yeah. Anyone asking any question? I am done with my presentation and demo. Okay, and we can take question. I'm just stopping my screen. Stop sharing. Hey Ravi, hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Abhishek. So, anyone have any question?
Hi Abhishek, Kakasep here.
Yeah, Kaka.
I asked one question about that. What is the difference in between publish API in Exchange and deploying application to the cloud app? So when we hitting it from Postman and using any punch row, that time log values are different. And when we deploy application to the cloud app, that time log values are different. So can we just tell that what is the use of cloud app? So when we deploy the application to the cloud app.
So local, then you get a certain type of logs in that, which is
Mhm.
related to your particular application. So if I'm not wrong, when we do it in cloud, so a lot of other entities are also added with that. Okay, you can see some kind of IDs are there. Okay, although it will be same what you have defined in your API. Now suppose you have used any logger, a custom logger where you have defined some attribute payload, so
Mhm.
you are going to see that, but there will be also an event ID to track that. Okay,
Mhm.
with cloud, but that is something you may not find in your local. Okay, in local just you are create developing and you are testing it in your local system only. When you do it cloud, you are making it for a global one, so anyone can use that, correct?
You know, yeah. Can I from Cloud Hub or not?
Log.
No, for API. So suppose from Exchange we can edit, we can documentation there, so we
Hmm.
can download from there. We can see that how many methods are applied, how the project is working. So in that time, what we can do in from Cloud Hub?
From cloud also we can download, and it will be downloaded as a zar file. Okay, in recent time I think we can. Earlier I have done it in Mule 3. It was downloading as a zip. In Mule 4, it was downloading as a jar file. But at present, if some updation is done where it is unable to download, I'm not sure because I have not tried in recent time. But yes, we were able to do that when we go to the our dashboard. Our dashboard, in that if we click on the application which is deployed, automatically that downloads us the API in a jar format.
Yeah. So in Exchange, the exact output shown is here, and when we deploy in Cloud App, that showing is only the application is started. This type of logs are they showing?
No, no, no. See, when we do in Exchange, okay, we are showing a structure and we are only seeing what example we have given. We
Mhm.
don't see the complete output because that is just to show the structure of our documentation. So whatever example you have defined in your RAML, only that you will see. But when you deploy it in a RAML, it's saying started. That means it is giving you an info that your API started. So when you deploy, when you hit your application, and you have a logger which is logging a payload, then only you can see the output from that. If you are not logging your payload, you cannot see. You will see other components.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to understand that that's a difference between exchange and logging. Logging is something different. Don't relate it with exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have any more question?
Can we apply securities with RAML? So Rajiv, we can define like the security scheme and anything which I have defined in my RAML. We can just create that structure, but we cannot provide like I'm getting what you're saying, like how we do it with API manager. We are practically giving some inputs to validate whether that is correct or not. With RAML, we cannot do that. We can restrict it. Okay, I want to have a security scheme or a client ID enforcement trait over here where I need to have a client ID and client secret. Only that I can validate, but I cannot validate the value for that. Maybe the client ID and client secret which I am passing, or a username and password. I cannot validate that. I can just define I need to have this particular thing. That's
Mhm.
only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So generally, the client ID and secrets are expiring in a year or within a 6 months. So it's again we have to provide that part again and again every year,
Uh,
every within a 6 month.
See, that what you're talking about. See, when we use client ID enforcement now, suppose in Exchange we can generate the client ID and client secret, correct?
Yeah.
If we are using the client ID enforcement policy, so I didn't see that it is expiring in 6 months or 1 year. I never saw that. Maybe some you might be using something else,
Mhm.
using AWS console or something where it is expiring. Then I can't comment on that.
Okay.
Okay, but
Mhm.
like auth token, so there is some time limit in that. Maybe
No,
60
I think
minutes.
Rajiv is saying, let's say if you are connecting to the Salesforce, there is a security token, right, which will expire in,
Okay.
yeah. So in that case, we have to update that one. And then I think
So
if in the pipelines, if you are maintaining any vaults, it's a kind of a pipeline Jenkins vault. So we
mhm.
need to
Yeah.
update over there. So that
Correct.
should, I mean, we should reach out to the DevOps guys where they can update these things.
Yeah, yeah, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Shiva is asking best practices with respect to RAML design. So Shiva, whatever we have seen now, this all are best practices. So giving a proper name to your RAML. Okay. Inside that, like creating a proper fragments with a proper name. So as I defined, there are some naming conventions. This. Okay. You need to follow this. Any one of these you can follow.
Yeah,
Okay.
adding to that, Abhishek, we have seen already how to set the mandatory or optional fields without mentioning that required true or false, right?
Yeah.
So when we develop or design the contracts, many of us always will concern about whether it works or not. How to make it work? Like we keep on add lines of code. So, but only few of us will think about how to refine that code when we completed the design or contract. So for that, there are many ways. Like we have plenty of options to design our contracts in a more sophisticated way. So we have to, if we follow that, that would be one of the best practice. So instead of having slow, see, we will mention a content type. So if we have three resources and every resource have three methods, and in every method we will mention like content type as like application/json. So instead of mentioning, if we need to mention it for every method, so for one resource we will get 3 lines extra, and then three resources into 9 lines of code will be we have to write. So instead of that, if you can mention it media type at the top of the RAML page, we don't need to write that content type in every under every method. So that is one kind of refinement we can do. So there are plenty of options are there in that way.
Yeah. So this is what we have shown is a one way
Yep.
how we can do that.
All right, Abhishek. Yeah, thanks for the first one.
Okay, Ankit. So what you're asking is like basically not for RAML, but still, if you have asked what is the default rate limit and throttling limit for any endpoint for a scenario that need to be triggered several times per minute. Okay, so this is coming under policies one, but what I remember for throttling, the maximum is 5 seconds, and for rate limiting, we cannot define any time. I guess we can define number of request, but not sure. Uh, Anyone,
Again,
Giri?
it's all depends on the business use case. We cannot make it as default of any number. So
No, Abhishek, my concern is like if like for instance no, if we create any endpoint that needs to handle let's say like a very large volume of data, then like do we need to enforce any policies or like it will work?
Yeah, that you can define, let's say for a period of time, how many requests that you wanted to accept. By using these policies, you can achieve.
Yeah, you can limit the number of hits for your application for a particular time period. Okay, so for rate limiting, if you hit more than what you have defined, then it will give you error as 429. In
Mm-hmm.
throttling, it put that in a queue for some time, and that's what I was saying. Like throttling, now we don't have throttling, we have spike control. Earlier we have throttling where we can define uh, like larger time, but in spike control what I remember last what I've seen is the maximum we can do is 5 seconds in the just for 5 seconds we can put something in queue and not more than that. Okay, currently if again it has been updated, I'm not sure, I'm not seen that, but the last what I've seen is spike control with 5 seconds as the limit, as the maximum limit of putting anything in queue. So that's what the difference between rate limiting and spike control also. Spike control put it in queue and rate limit doesn't. Okay, any other question? If not, we can move to our trivia then.
yeah, Ravi is there in
Okay.
the attendance list where we don't need any introduction about
Yeah.
Ravi. Ravi, you want to speak up? No, that's okay. It's fine.
Ravi is preparing for his Hyderabad meetup,
Yeah,
25th meetup for Hyderabad now.
Silver Jubilee.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will continue. So yeah,
Yeah, before
thank
that,
you.
as Subha mentioned at the start of the session, so we are expecting a feedback from all of you guys. So it was a completely interactive session which happened today. Yeah, feedback is like a bread and butter for our organizers. So it'll make us to more uh, we can conduct in a better way than today. So if we have any suggestions from your side, so please provide the feedback. Right after the meetup, you will get an email. Go ahead,
Okay,
Shubham.
so yeah, so if you want to speak up in a meetup style like this, so you can just ping us, like reach out to Giri or me on LinkedIn or through email. We will help you out if you are presenting the meetup for the first time. Okay, so let's move to the quiz. Okay, so you can join the quiz now using this code.
Again, like before we start quiz, I will like to have some ground rules. So like if you have won any voucher in last 30 days, please let us know, because even though if you win, you will not get the vouchers from MuleSoft. If you are a leader or mentor, ambassador, or frequent speaker to any group, then please let us know so that we can provide the chance to anyone else who really need it. Okay,
Can I get
and
the link also?
link is kahoot.it, and you need to go to that with a separate browser or a separate system. Okay, there is also a QR in the screen. You can see, you can scan that QR from your phone, so
And
you
you
will
can,
be,
yeah,
yeah,
directly reach to that.
We
directly reach
recommend you
to
to
the,
take up from your phone, so it'll be easy for you to get a voucher.
yeah. So there will be two screen, one which Shubham is sharing, and you can see the question over there. Another screen which you will require to answer. You will have some colored boxes, and you need to click the correct boxes out of that. Okay, and just share your email in the chat. Maybe directly you can DM it to Shubham, whoever wins it.
Let us know like if you are having any issues in joining the quiz.
Abhishek,
Yes,
please wait.
it
And
just
join.
displays my name. It says, "Can you see your name?" But after that, I can't do anything.
Okay, try. I mean, try again, like reloading the page and joining it again.
Yeah, let me try.
So Abhishek, how can we scan this?
See, you need to do it with your camera. Just open your camera and try to scan. So, does your phone have that facility to do that?
Yeah.
Scanning, yeah.
Yeah.
Just open your camera normally and scan it. So, it will ask you like you want to go to that browser. Just put yes.
Or maybe you can use Google Lens as well for scanning this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good? Anyone having issues, or can we start?
No, no, no. Wait. Some people are saying they have issues. Arifa, Ruchika, do you see your name over here?
I think Ruchika's name I have seen here,
There
but
might be something saying like, okay, we are waiting or something. If still it is showing blank, then try to refresh and join.
Yes, it is showing as you are in, see your nickname
Ah,
on the
that's it.
screen.
That's it. That's it. So
Okay.
once we'll start over here, then you will get the options over there. Okay.
Okay.
We have not yet started.
yep.
So just see your name in this particular screen what Shubham is showing. If it is there, then you're in. 37 people. Okay.
I think we can. Is there any issue, or we can start?
It should be
Please
good
wait.
now.
Wait for a while. Please wait for a while.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, sure.
Can anyone confirm my name Rajiv is there or not? I have joined.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, Rajiv is here.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we good, everyone? We can start. Okay, so I'll start in 10 seconds. If anyone has any issues, let us know in 10 seconds. So first question will be a no mark question, like it's just for testing. So you can get familiar. Okay, I'll start the quiz now. Okay, let's move to the main questions part. Okay. Read the question and answers carefully. So it's not model language, it's modeling language. The two of you answered correctly. Nice. So Prince is on top.
Not reading it
Properly.
People are
That's
not
why
reading
I
the
told.
question and answer. Yes, Arifa, you need to see which block is the right answer from Shubham's screen, and you need to put that, Arifa, the right color box. No problem, Shruti. Try in this question. Anything can change at the last moment.
Okay, 20 or 22. Give correct answer. Let's see who's on board. So Prince is on top, and Ramya.
Enough time to read and answer this one. Oh, still 9 of you got it wrong.
Okay, so we have Prince still on top and Ramya. Then
Again, read it carefully, please.
okay, most of them answered is correct. Okay, Prince still is on top, Ramya, then Mastan. So this is the last question.
Again, people haven't read it. So we have library as a fragment, not as libraries, and it is library is. So that's why it was little tricky, but 12 got it right. We can see now, Shubham, the podium. And congratulations to the winners. Just share your email in the chat. Prince,
Yeah.
others. Yeah. Okay.
Looks like, yeah, correct.
Congratulations,
He's
guys.
the first participant who joined today.
Okay. Yeah.
He's definitely listening to all our PPT.
Great,
Okay,
great.
great.
Congrats to
So,
everyone.
congrats and share
Congratulations.
your winners on the chat.
Oh,
Okay,
Akash has already won a
If Akash has one, we can give it to the
fourth
fourth guy.
person. Yep.
just stop your sharing then, and then
Yeah,
you can think.
just
Just tell the name who is fourth position one, na?
yeah. I'll check it in.
Yeah, guys, don't go away.
Thanks,
Let us see.
Akash, for your honesty.
Yeah, thank you, Akash. Just wait it. Let us see who is the winner. So we have Prince. We have someone else. One more.
Anil, and then Ramya.
Ramya. Okay, Ramya.
Is the
So you
fourth.
got lucky, and you can share your email address. Do we have Ramya? Yeah, Ramya Shri, correct? Ramya Shri. Yeah.
Ramya, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Ramya
Ramya
Shri.
Shri. Yeah. So
No,
Ramya
it's I think
Shri.
Ramya M. So it's Sri Ramya Madhav.
Yeah. She only. I think we have only one Ramya. We don't have anyone else.
Okay. Okay, share your email. We'll check.
Okay, we
I
have
believe
two
both
Ramya.
have shared.
Ramya Shri and Sri Ramya. Oh my. But it is Sri Ramya, I guess. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Happy Diwali once again. See you in next meetup.
Thank you all for joining us today.
All
Thanks,
for that.
Abhishek. Happy
Happy
Diwali
Diwali.
to everyone.
Hey,
Happy
Ravi.
Diwali, everyone.
Happy
Thank
Happy
you
Diwali.
so much.
Diwali.
Hey, Ravi.
Ravi, all
Where
the best
you
for
are,
your
sir?
Silver Jubilee.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's an in-person one, no?
Ah, Abhishek.
Yeah, in person.
Happy Diwali to everyone. Great session, Abhishek.
Thank you,
Thank you, Kaka.
Kaka.
As usual.
Okay, signing off then. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Shubham, you have noted down all the emails, right?
Yep.
Okay.